All right, third graders, today we are looking at lesson 8.6 on page 475. Relate fractions and whole numbers. And the big question today, when might you use a fraction greater than 1 or a whole number? One thing to remember today, and it's really important, is how to write your fractions or why we write them the way we write them. What the top number tells us and what the bottom number tells us. So we'll really focus on those two things today. It can get a little tricky, so do your best to really pay attention when you're doing your assignment later on. Refer back to the video, go back to the video, rewind it, listen to things again, because this is really critical today. All right? Super important. Let's start with unlock the problem. It says Steve ran 1 mile and Jenna ran 4/4 of a mile. Did they run the same distance? So we're going to figure that out with using a number line today. So first thing, overall goal is to locate 1 and 4/4 on a number line. And first step in that process, it says shade 4 lengths of 1/4, and label the number line. So I'm going to shade that in. So it said to shade in 4 lengths. So there's 1 length, and 2 lengths, 3 lengths, and 4 lengths. And it said label the number line as well. So I have to do that right here. Right here, sorry about that. This spot right here, it's at the very beginning of the number line, so we haven't moved yet, so I'm at 0/4. And then we'll move over one section, and that's moving over 1 out of the 4 that are there, 1/4. And we'll move over again, so that's now 2/4. And you move again, that's the 3rd time that I moved, that's 3/4, and moved the 4th time, 4/4. Okay, and go back up to our directions here. It says draw a point at 1 and 4/4. So 4/4 ends right here. 1 is also right here. So on the number line, draw my point. Since the distance 4/4 and 1 end at the same point, they are equal. So Steve and Jenna ran the same distance. Okay. Anytime you have a fraction, like 4/4 right here, where the denominator, that's the number on top, or the numerator, I'm sorry, it's Monday, where the numerator is the number on top, and the denominator, the number on the bottom, if they are the same, like 4/4, 4/4, then it's going to equal 1. If I have 100 1/100ths, that equals 1. Okay, if I have 7 7ths, that equals 1. Anytime the numerator and the denominator are the same, it equals 1. Let's try this. Complete the number line, locate and draw points at 3 6 6 sixths and 1. Alright, so we have our number line. Let's finish that up. First of all, we start here at 0, where we haven't moved, and then we move 1 spot, so that's 1/6. We move another spot, that's 2/6. And then I think we've got it probably by now, 3 6, 4 sixths, and 5 sixths. Again, 6 sixths. Numerator and denominator are the same, so it equals 1. Alright, are 3 sixths and 1 equal? Explain. Okay, and here they are not equal. And why not? Because 3 sixths ends right here, and 1 ends way over here. They are at different points on the number line, right? So that's what we'll write. They are at different points on the number line. They are at different points on the number line. Points on the number line. Okay, that tells us they are not equal because they are at different points on the number line. So 3/6 and 1 are not the same. Or you could even write different. Either one, right? Not equal, you could write. As long as you're telling me kind of the same point as what I'm saying there. Okay, are 6/6 and 1 equal? Explain. Okay, all we have to do is look at where they are on the number line. They both stop right there at that green dot, that green point. So are they, do the distance and then end at the same point? So are they the same? Yes. And why? They end at the same point. They end at the same point. They end at the same point. There we go. So that's why they are equal. So 6/6 and 1 are equal. Okay, that part's the easy part. We're going to get to the next page, which is a little trickier, a little harder to understand. We're going to be looking at fractions that are greater than 1. So let's read this whole paragraph up here for Connect. It says, the number of equal parts the whole is divided into is the denominator of a fraction. I'll repeat that. The number of equal parts the whole is divided into, that one's divided into 4 parts. That then is the denominator, the bottom number. The number of parts being counted is the numerator. And so that would be, in the example down here, we would count this one, this one, this one, this one, and that one, and then also these 4. There are a total of 8 of those. That's going to be the numerator. A fraction greater than 1 has a numerator larger or greater than the denominator. So here I had 8/4 in my example. The numerator is bigger than the denominator, meaning my fraction's bigger than 1. Well, if we look at the example here, we'll talk about it a little bit more. I actually have 2 holes that are shaded in, right? So that's 2. That's bigger than 1. 8/4 means 2. Okay? One thing that the book won't talk about that I want to introduce, though, is this fraction bar right here. It actually means divide. So if we had 8 and we divide it into groups of 4, we have 2 groups. 8 divided by 4 equals 2. Well, look at that. We ended up with 2 circles over here, right? So 8/4 is equal to 2. It's 8 divided by 4 equals 2. Let me clean this up a little bit, and we'll go through the book example and see if it helps us make more sense of this. Okay. It says each shape, I'm going to read this again. I'm trying to erase. There we go. I'm reading this part right here. Each shape is one whole. Write a whole number and a fraction greater than 1 for the parts that are shaded. Okay, there are 2 holes, 2 whole circles. Each hole is divided into 4 equal parts, and that's why there is a denominator of 4. Okay, the denominator tells you how many parts each circle is divided into. And then the numerator, the top number, is going to tell us how many parts are shaded in. 8. So our fraction is 8/4 here. Okay? The reason that it's 8/4, 8 parts are shaded in, that's the numerator, and then each circle is divided into 4 parts. Okay? 8 parts shaded in, I'll count them one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 parts are shaded in. Each circle is divided into 4 parts. Let's look at B. Okay, again, we have 3 whole circles, right? 3 whole circles over here. Okay, how many parts are shaded in? Well, we can count those. 1, 2, 3. So 3 parts are shaded in. That's the numerator. And then for the denominator, we look at how many parts is each circle divided into. Each circle is divided into 1 part. So it's 3/1. Okay? Sorry about that. I'll get this eventually. There we go. There are 3 equal parts shaded. So our fraction is 3/1, meaning 3 parts shaded in, each circle divided into 1 part. Okay. Now, 1 part we'll get to, well, we'll do that on the try this. Let's go down here to try this. It says each shape is 1 whole, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 circles, right? Okay. The top number, again, this top number is going to tell us how many parts are there shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 parts shaded in, and each circle is divided into 2 parts, so it's 8/2. Again, that fraction bar means division, right? 8 divided by 2, 8 into groups of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 4 groups. 8 divided by 2 equals 4. Okay, one other thing. You're going to have some problems on your assignment where you will have something similar to this right here, and you'll have to write it 2 different ways. We can write it as a whole number, okay, meaning we can write that as 4, or 8 parts, each part divided into 2, 8 halves. Okay, you can write that 2 different ways. All right, 4 wholes or 8/2. And again, if we think of that fraction bar as a division, 8 divided by 2, we did that over here as 4. Or this one here, 4 divided into groups of 1. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that equals 4 groups too. So 4 divided by 1 is 4, and 8 divided by 2 is also 4. All right. There's a lot to take in. Please use the video to remind yourself of what you're doing, especially when you get to some of those other problems a lot like this one. That'll be the trickiest part. Okay? Best of luck, boys and girls. Work hard, persevere, show integrity. As always, this is Mr. P, and I am out.